Good morning, everyone. This is James, and today we're going to be looking at EasyBib as a tool for librarians. So what is EasyBib? It's a mostly free, we're going to get there, citation software. It handles MLA, APA, and Chicago formats, as well as over 7,000 others. It also includes text guides on the MLA, APA, and Chicago formats. So even if you don't want to use the actual citing tool, it'll still walk you through it. It also offers the ability to do research through EasyBib, the ability to make title pages that match your citations. It also will help you evaluate websites for their credibility. And there's also an educator version of EasyBib that will allow teachers to use it as well as to share it freely with their students. So let's look at the website right now. So front and center is the ability to actually make the citation. So you can see it here. This is how it appears on the homepage. Here's an example of a citation after you've run it through. It will come up with citations automatically without any input from you if you would like. Otherwise, you can either create one manually or you can edit an existing citation. It's pretty useful. So essay tools, the research ability lets you research through other people's bibliographies, so you can actually see based on what topics, what people have cited the most. For example, this article has been cited 181 times related to the subject of worms. That's pretty useful. It also lets you know if they believe that the source is credible or not. If you go back, whatever, there's the title page maker, which we're going to skip because that's pretty obvious. We're also skipping citation guides because, again, they're just text guides. Everyone's seen them. The website evaluation is pretty cool because you can just do a website, and it'll bring up the website with this thing on the side that takes you through the steps of evaluating its credibility. So purpose, accuracy, authority, on and on. And then at the end, it will give you basically a readout of, based on your responses, whether or not the website should be considered credible. And then you can actually have that emailed to yourself so you can show your teacher if he or she doubts your ability to come up with a credible website. So what are some of the advantages? Well, for one, it is free for MLA citations. Other citations are behind a paywall. You have to pay a monthly fee, but if you have the special educator version, it is free for the school year as well as for your students. The bibliographic data that it pulls from, there's a lot of it, and it's editable. So when it comes up with a citation, you can actually change the citation based on what your needs are for the bibliography. You're not locked into a specific type. And again, you can always put them in manually. The style guidelines, which we talked about, the text guides, they're extensive for MLA, APA, and Chicago. And those additional resources I showed you, the ability to do the research and the ability to evaluate a website's credibility, those are incredible. I've never seen anything quite like that before. And that actually I would recommend highly to pretty much anybody. So the disadvantages, well, the bibliographic information I told you about comes from user-generated content. So wiki rules apply. Be careful. Make sure that that the information that you're pulling down is correct. Remember, you can always edit it if it's wrong. That monthly fee for individuals is $10 a month. That's a bit high just for someone making citations. Again, so hopefully someone in your class has the educator version, or someone at the school where you're working has the educator version. The other possible argument, which is that using this website kind of takes the point away from exercises of having students work on bibliographies. Basically, they're supposed to learn how to make these bibliographies themselves. It's a nice idea. I can see how some people would think that. Personally, I feel like that's a very weak disadvantage, because really the thing to learn is doing inline citations, showing how to properly attribute someone else's work in your own paper, and this website does not do that for you. It only handles the works cited page or the references page or the bibliography you would see at the end of the paper. It has nothing to do with inline citations. So my final verdict is that this is a really good product for students and for teachers, but it's really more useful for elementary, middle, and high school. At the college level, it starts to break down. because you have to count on your professor having that educator version. Otherwise, if you're asked to cite in Chicago or APA or some other format, it's going to cost you $10 a month in order to do it. And that's really not worth the price at the individual level. But for pretty much everyone else, I highly recommend it. If you haven't checked it out, you should. It's a great resource and might even help you out a little bit in this class when we get a little bit further along. So that's it. Thanks for listening, and I hope to see you all later.